Hi, this is JoJo from Sarton Physical Therapy. Here we are going to work on some of our stretches for pelvic floor relaxation. We are going to get into our happy baby stretch. So for happy baby, let's lay down onto our back. And once you're back here, really begin to kind of settle into this neutral spine pose, getting nice and comfortable. Legs go high up toward the ceiling, bend your knees. Either grab behind your thighs, or if you can reach the soles of your feet, maybe even your big toes. Begin to kind of open up those knees and rock from side to side. And while you're here in happy baby, beautiful way to start with the breath. As you inhale, pelvic floor relaxes. Exhale, pelvic floor goes back to its resting place. So here we are stretching the adductors and lengthening the pelvic floor. A wonderful, wonderful stretch for the pelvic floor. Also a nice massage on the low back. Feels so, so good. Again, the modification is here. If you're not as flexible, open the knees and rock side to side. Here we go, working on another stretch for the pelvic floor. This time we're gonna get into a deep squat. So I'm using a little stool or a bench, sitting down on the stool, opening my knees up nice and wide. Maybe bring my hands heart center, kind of like a yoga stretch, or just placing my elbows onto my knees. And again, here we are in that stretch. Begin to breathe. As you inhale, the pelvic floor relaxes. Exhale, pelvic floor goes back to its resting position. If you have good knees and if you have the flexibility, you can feel free and you can move this stool out of the way, open up the knees up wide and come into that stretch. Just kind of resting here, maybe using the knees side to side. A beautiful way to open up that pelvic floor. Moving into our wall stretches, using the wall to help with our pelvic floor relaxation. So here we are sitting nice and tight against the wall. I'm gonna lay down this way sideways and then shimmy around so my booty is touching the wall. So I have some nice hamstring flexibility, so I'm able to get my legs really nice and straight. If you have less flexibility, you can move away from the wall a little bit more to make this comfortable. So while you're here, you can start with your breath work. You can start with diaphragmatic breathing, inhales and exhales, and then begin to move into a little series. Perhaps we start with butterfly. So we start by bringing the soles of the feet together. Knees are nice and wide. Begin to open up the pelvic floor. Use your breath. Feel this adductor stretch going on here. We can move into a unilateral butterfly, coming in this way. Perhaps from here, we work on our hamstrings a little bit, coming into a wide V, pointing and flexing those toes, really getting the backs of the legs. So here we are pointing and flexing our toes. Bring the toes toward the nose, feeling a stretch behind the legs and the hamstrings, the calves. Moving into a kind of a separate leg stretch or a half butterfly, however you want to describe this stretch, this way, and then moving into our happy baby. So happy baby, our feet come flat to the wall, our knees are bent, tuck the chin, the entire spine supported down on the mat. And once again, be able to use your breath as you inhale, pelvic floor relaxes, and exhale, let it go. Wonderful. Kind of finish with a bit of a hamstring stretch, bring the toes toward the nose, lengthen the backs of the legs. And this is a way to use the wall to facilitate pelvic floor relaxation with the entire spine supported down on the mat. We're going to move into a cat and cow and a child's pose. So we're going to start in a tabletop position. So tabletop, our wrists are directly underneath the shoulders. Our knees are underneath the hips. Gaze is down. Really focus on lengthening the neck right here. So we don't want that head just hanging, and we certainly don't want to be looking up. We start in a neutral spine pose. So as you're here, begin to work on your inhales and your exhales. You can even start by rocking back and forth, rocking side to side, doing whatever feels good on you, on your back. I like to say wagging the tail, moving the hips around, curling under the toes, flipping the wrists, whatever feels good. This is a great way to stretch your body. So with cat and cow, we take an inhale breath and we begin to gaze forward toward that mirror. We tip the tailbone high, drop the belly, and then on the exhale, we draw that belly button in toward the spine. We round the spine, we tuck the chin and tuck the tailbone under, really feeling a stretch in the thoracic spine. I can even feel this in my low back. Inhale breath, gaze up, tip the tailbone high. On the exhale, once again, we round. Come back into a neutral spine. Spread the knees a little bit wider. Coming into child's pose. Extend the arms long. Forehead is on the mat. That booty comes back toward the heels, extending the arms long, really feeling the stretch through the shoulder blades and the back, into the low back, the pelvis. We're opening up that bottom of the pelvis, spreading the sits bones wide apart. And once again, use your breath. Inhale, belly rises, pelvic floor lengthens. And on the exhale, everything comes back to its resting pose. Great way to open up the back of the pelvic floor and also stretch the back right here. And let's move into our triplanar stretch, the deep squat. So I want you to find a countertop in your house, like in the kitchen. That is a perfect place to do the stretch. And you're gonna start to stand, arm's length away from the countertop. Your hands are on the countertops, gripping it nice and firm. Begin to bring the booty back, drop the head heavy. Begin to rock from side to side. So you can see that my arms are lengthened. I'm beginning to rock from side to side. You can even bend one knee and bend the other knee. You are stretching the entire posterior chain here up through the arms and the shoulder blades, the back of the neck, down the spine, into the sacrum and the tailbone, down the hamstrings and the calves. Feels so, so good. And then you can even start to make this more of like an active stretch. So you can come down into your deep squat and rise back up. Coming down into your deep squat, really grabbing onto that counter, rocking right and left. Coming back up. We'll do this one more time. Come down into that deep squat. Feels so good on the low back. Opens the entire pelvic floor. Maybe one more time. Triplanar stretch. Drop the head. Move right and left. A great way to open up that entire posterior chain.